The first season in this dynasty, we weren't even bowl eligible, but Arkansas State has now been built up. They've won the Sun Belt, moved on to win the American Conference, and now, here in our first season in the SEC, we are now recognized as the #1 ranked team in college football, and are 5-0 entering today's episode that features a couple matchups on the road. We have not played many road games this year, and our home schedule has given us some of our toughest opponents so far. We defeated Florida with another great defensive performance, and then another comeback against Texas. Came back from down 17 against them, down 19 against Pitt. And after 5 games, I think this is one of our most intriguing teams yet. We've got the right star players on both sides of the football. We have a lot of ways we can win games. I think this is a very complete team, the way things have come together. And we're lucky to have Akeem Madden here playing at the same time as 2 of our best receivers in Keontae Bargava and Damar Alba. We have the best cornerback duo this series has ever seen. And a breakout defensive tackle, of course, in Jeffrey Brazil, the team's leading sack producer with 6.5 so far. So now that we've got that top spot, we don't want to lose it. We'll travel to Mississippi today for 2 games. First up, Mississippi State. Overall wise, they are sub 80, down to a 2.5-star program. Now these 2 and 3 teams are going to be stronger in the SEC than our previous stops in the Sun Belt and American Conference. And I don't overlook teams when we go on the road. We've seen a lot of games that were surprising, so now I just assume things are going to be weird. And when I look at these rosters, I do see really good players capable of changing games. The roster isn't as complete as some we've seen. I think this is a really good chance for us to open up our passing game maybe against this Bulldogs secondary that doesn't really have a standout player. Here are the Red Wolves' stats on the season, as second-year quarterback Gerald Ogletree has 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions with 1,200-plus passing yards, and also 4 rushing touchdowns. We haven't gotten Ron Best a rushing score yet, something to keep an eye on, as Keontae Ruggins has 3 on a team lead 316 yards. Damar Alba is the team's leading receiver in yards and catches, while Keontae Bargava and Akeem Madden each have 3 scores. It has been a quieter season for Madden. In a lot of these games, we haven't needed to get him the ball a lot. So I think getting him some touches is a good place to try and start the action today. The defense has been outstanding. We have 6 players that have picked off a pass. I'm hoping to collect a few more. I like seeing the takeaways and the sack production we have with Jeffrey Brazil's big breakout. And as we reach this season's halfway point, we're trying to move to 6-0, complete that perfect first half, and look ahead to the rest of our schedule. Time to take this show on the road with the #1 Red Wolves here in Starkville. We want the ball to start this game, and we'll get it. Kenneth Agood from the 1-yard line gets us underway in another episode of the Arkansas State Dynasty. Thank y'all for coming back for another episode. Keontae Bargava coming off the 2-touchdown game, and I really think his game has evolved where he was playing running back. Then he became more of a receiver, got a lot of gadget opportunities. And now he's a really good receiver who can do a lot more than just spring loose on the big play. But we started our own 24-yard line and get it to Ron Best. They took away Akeem Madden, so it's a 6-yard gain on the ground. And it's Best again on 2nd down, fighting for a few extra as he gets 6 more. That's Keontae Ruggins motioning out of the backfield. And wide open, it's delivered to Akeem Madden. On 2nd and 4, here's one getting thrown deep downfield, and it's incomplete. Gave Madden a chance. That's not something we throw often. Had an opportunity, couldn't come through, and now 3rd and 4. And Ogletree's going to take off. They double Madden, and nobody guards the quarterback scramble. That's a gain of 27. The give is to Ron Best, angling outside to the 10, and all the way for his first career rushing touchdown. Ron Best, the freshman star running back. Kenyon Capps is the Bulldog quarterback, coming off a 2-touchdown, 2-interception, very up-and-down game. I see this team as a much better offensive roster than defensive. Couldn't tell by that first play. Capps gives inside, and there's some running room on a first down gain for Dwayne Rooks, who has a healthy 5+ average on the year coming into this game. Off the fake, Capps scans, and coming back, he's got a receiver dancing his way to the 37. Trying to get aligned here. They sweep it outside and get close to the first down with Rooks. Don't have to get a whole lot here. They'll give it right back to Rooks, and the run game's off to a promising start. Throwing on first down to the outside and keeping his footing with it. That's Sean Antwine, the team's leading receiver. Being guarded out there by Emmett Paul, who's been a handful for receivers to deal with. This is a pretty good start to the drive for the Bulldogs. But can they capitalize? From the 29, Capps fakes, scans downfield. There's nothing there, I promise. And now he takes off to get 3. I'm calling a timeout. I'm sick of your no-huddle. Got a couple new D linemen rotating in. Steve Doss, Max Dorsey. 2nd down and 7. They sweep outside. Fresh legs in the game, and Dorsey's the first one to meet him. Harris cleans up. Now it's 3rd down. Have to get inside the 20. Capps takes a chance, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bulldogs. We sit in cover 2, designed to take away the big play, but 4 verticals gives them the numbers advantage. And with us unable to get any pressure on the quarterback, he's got plenty of time to see that wide open receiver in the end zone. Nice drive. Drive number 2 underway. Look at all this daylight here. It's Keontae Ruggins. To the air, and caught. That's Madden now. He's at the 30. They can't catch him. Too quick. Touchdown. The Mackey Award winning Akeem Madden has some work to do if he wants back-to-back awards. And we're coming for it. Earlier in the series, you'd see me run a lot of bubble screen RPOs, but now with Akeem Madden, I just want to test them vertically. Force them to respect it. Because if they play the run, that's what can happen. Big receiving touchdowns where our tight end is just too fast. 14-7. And this looks like trouble, but Jolly makes the wrap-up tackle on Capps. All offense so far. Been talking about defense so much. We haven't seen a lot of games where we get 3 touchdown drives consecutively. On the outside, Jolly knocks it away. There's one thing that could hurt us on this play. We'll see if they use it. 3rd down, and down goes Capps. Was worried they could scramble maybe on this play, but Jeffrey Brazil won't give them the chance. We had man-to-man across the board. We doubled their slot receiver, who was their number 1. And we'll get the football now with some really nice field position. Bargava's going to take it straight ahead and out of bounds. Here's Best. And he's run down. Willie Peterson. Our defense had the stand. Bulldogs looking for one now. It's 3rd down and 12. Sending pressure off the edge. Here's one that's caught by Shembo. Almost got a hand in there, but he comes away with it. Shembo's been on a bit of a hot stretch lately, just making really key plays for the offense. Up to the 21, throwing over the middle, and Bargava, that's what I'm talking about. He doesn't just do the gadget stuff now. He'll get you that tough catch contested there one-on-one. Let's give this one to Ron Best. Cuts it back. He got one earlier. He's back for more. A second rushing touchdown. 3 scores in 3 possessions for Arkansas State. To the outside, Jolly is there again with a quick tackle. They have shown some good things offensively, but it's going to take an awful lot the way this game is starting off. 3rd down and 4. Caps has it out quick, and it's incomplete. Harris on the coverage. Again, great field position, and it's out. What the heck was that, Bargava? Back to pass on 3rd down, and Madden snags it, uncovered in the middle of the field. Some of these plays I'm not even trying to go to him, but they're just forcing me to. I'm actually reading the defense. Here's Alba on the screen now, and he's going to get us 5 on his first reception. Back to Best on 2nd down. It's flipped back, and Bargava's pass is incomplete. Yeah, we've put that one on film a few times before. 21-7 Arkansas State, again facing 3rd down. And we might have just gotten it with a neutral zone infraction. We're coming out throwing here. Out to Best. Got the 3rd down and short taken care of. Fake to Ruggins. Lobbed up. He wants Alba. And the best receiver in the SEC has the touchdown. Would that be a stretch to crown him the best receiver? Because I think he is a special player. There were 3 times on that drive I was trying to go deep to Alba, and I finally got my opportunity. 4-man rush, and it is caught. Nice drive starter for Mississippi State as we've scored the last 21. It's still just quarter number 1. Play action. Everything down the field looks pretty covered, and that is incomplete. Jolly is having himself a game. I was never sure that he would take that next step, especially because it seemed teams would go after him in the past, and that was not when we were in the SEC. But Jolly has really come into his own this season. Because this team tries to go deep so much, I might change up some of my calls as this pass falls incomplete. I probably won't sit in cover 2 a whole lot, but we might call a little bit more cover 4. Might call more man-to-man too, and just try to make sure that nothing ever ends up being wide open because they have a concept that beats our coverage. I'd rather them have to beat, our players one-on-one than a defensive call. The way things are unfolding. Changing the play at the line. And it's a throw that Ogletree sails by Shembo. Best lines up as a receiver. Empty on 3rd and 7. And they're all over Alba, getting their first stop. We're bringing 5, and here is a nice pass that works them into the open field. It is Dwayne Rooks on a play that looked like it could be a colossal failure. On the throw, downfield, they got behind Jolly and take advantage of our aggressiveness. DeAndre Hauma to the end zone. Now they get the better of Jolly in press coverage. He's not going to have safety help. So this was a little too easy on him here. Didn't want to give him the huge cushion. Got over-aggressive. Agood makes a move and now jukes out the kicker. This is going to be an instant response. Taking it up the numbers, a kick return touchdown. I felt at some point this year he was going to be due to break one. Mississippi State does not have their momentum last for long. This looks like it's going to be one of our highest scoring games. We're moving the football extremely well, hitting the big plays, and they're playing a style that can lead to a higher scoring game. They're going no huddle. They're playing well offensively. Jolly makes the tackle from the ground. That's kind of a new one. I actually want to see that a second time. He's blocked to the ground here by the same receiver that beat him for the touchdown. But how about that? He's going to make sure that running back goes down too. But they're playing no huddle. Their drives are not taking a lot of time off the clock, whether they're successful or not. So we're at 35 points. There's a lot of time to play still in just the second quarter. Oftentimes in these games, at some point, there is a major scoring lull. But, you know, we're on pace for like a 100-yard day here, or a 100-point day. Oh, we're bringing pressure from way outside. Good move. Mississippi State. Touchdown. Sean Antwine was uncovered because I blitzed the outside corner, getting really risky here defensively, and they're making me pay for some of these decisions. 14-point game again. So we can't afford to take our foot off the gas today. This is Ruggins with a good gain of 8. Now it's checked down. Ruggins is there to secure a first down. I don't know how Madden just made that catch. That was a pure desperation. I don't want to get sacked type of throw. Madden now has 92 yards on the day. And they come out with one of their most aggressive looks defensively, and we're bluffing. Coming across, DeMar Alba. Second down and 2. Now Bargava's out in space, where he gets a first down. Handoff, reversed. Okay, I shouldn't have called that. Back to third down and 10. They're getting some pressure on us quickly here. That's Madden on the reception. And I like going for it here in this spot. Pierre Shembo is our motion man on 4th and 4. We're going to go. Heading to the air. Finding Alba. Gets past the corner. He's inside the 10. And Ogletree goes over 200 passing yards. It's Ruggins on the carry, taking down inside the 1. Akeem Madden is the motion man. It's 3rd and goal. It's a throw. Madden out in space, and that is a touchdown. It'll go in the books as a rushing score for Akeem Madden. That was a backward pass. 41-21. Hopefully that helps his chances for the Mackey Award. I honestly don't know. Not expecting them to run much. We're going to go with our dime personnel in this instance. Just one linebacker on the field. And they'll dump it off, trying to keep this as close as they can. Big possession here. They get the ball after halftime, too. So they're in control of this, potentially becoming a 7-point game by the time we get the football next. Second down, a lot of time. Their pass rush is outperforming ours. Oh, they did run it. That's a heads-up play there by Molds. We're going to stay with our cover 4 call. Keeps the clock moving. Down to 1:18. Kenyon Caps scanning over the middle and wide open. He finds his running back, and he's taken down at the 33. That was kind of bizarre to see him all alone like that. Okay, I see what happened here. We were in a cover 4. So Booker here, he's going to be one of the deep safeties on this half, but they have two other receivers that occupy this quarter and this quarter. So all that's really left then is Isaiah Harris, and he does not do all that great of a job. Pressure on the quarterback at last, but a completion inside the 20. All this great talk about the defense, and here we are nearly allowing 300 first half passing yards to the Bulldogs. I knew it'd be interesting going on the road. Wide open in the flats. And honestly, we might as well start using our timeouts. The clock really isn't a factor for them. They can call as many plays as they need. What if I want more? Also, zone does not seem to be getting the job done today. Taking a break from that. Tight coverage and a catch. DeAndre Hauma getting the better of Devon Jolly a few times now. Got to watch that right side, especially with the star power on this down. Bringing 5. Caps feels the pressure, and down he goes. That is Jared Maffei. Snapped at 24 seconds. Little double clutch, but Hauma makes the catch. 3rd and goal for the Bulldogs. Caps has time. Throws over the middle and is picked off by the lurking linebacker, Dallas Brown. We're playing man-to-man, single high safety, letting our linebacker roam. Just calling cover one hole, basically, on a lot of these plays. And sometimes I'm hot routing him to blitz. Sometimes we're just going to have him stay in coverage. Dallas Brown just follows that inside receiver. I mean, if it were one-on-one, he beats Reigns, but it ain't. And you can see, like that good zone coverage, he starts to get in position very early. And that's why that window was never open to begin with. Only 14 seconds to go. We're going to give this one to Keontae Bargava. And he's loose! Oh my, he's across the 50! This is going to be a 90-yard score to cap off the half. Are you kidding me? One of the most dynamic halves of this entire series. Clearly, with that call, we're not trying to do much, but we're calling a high upside play. You'll notice in these instances, I go to a lot of screens, and Bargava's one of the guys I try to get involved. But the blocks just set up one after another so well. And that's going to go in the books as a 90-yard passing touchdown for Gerald Ogletree, capping off a 49-point first half. I don't think we've seen a game quite like this one. 49-21, not at the final, but at halftime. And combined, we are approaching 600 passing yards. We're underway in the second half. To the outside, Paul nearly gets his hands on that ball. 3 receivers to the left on 3rd and 9. And the pass is caught, despite good coverage from Reigns. 3rd down and 10. We're bringing pressure this time. Caps into coverage. Bad timing there. Paul was able to make a fast reaction to a pass, not even to the guy he was recovering. And we'll get the football with a nice 49-21 advantage. And it's Bargava. Ooh, dashing through across the 40, a good return. Ron Best on the carry, and he gets some space. All the way outside with it to the 43 of Mississippi State. We're setting up a screen, and it hit Ron Best in the face mask. Play action. I was not trying to pump there. 4th down. Mississippi State on 3rd and 5. That's open. Got a match up there with Booker at safety. Advantage wide receiver. 5 on the rush again. Caps is flushed. He's in trouble and won't get of the way in time. It's a 12-yard sack. Big cushion given to the receivers as we look to stay man-to-man. 3rd and 16. Downfield. Double coverage. Incomplete. Guyon with good safety help. To the air and throwing. That's Madden. Over 100 yards on the day with this reception. Now play action. Directing traffic downfield and slinging it to an open Akeem Madden. Adding on. Ogletree has thrown for 360 yards. I thought this matchup set up well for us to play more aggressively than normal. And that has worked. Best on the catch. And he's close, getting another first down. 5 yards out, screen pass, and in goes DeMar Albaugh for the touchdown. And the Red Wolves have broken 50. Down goes Caps. And I have started to take the starters out of the game. That was Andre Oladukin who got the sack. I plan to try to play the same way and just see how effective it can be with the second team. Down goes Caps, and that's nearly a safety. Alfred Heaney just got through for the sack. They got a long way to go, just keeping it on the ground. And we'll get the ball now for our second team offense. Matt Priester takes the field. He'll get the entire fourth quarter with his pass going to the outside. It is red-shirted freshman Rocky May, route artist. Got a lot of guys who are red-shirted that are going to have a chance to get some snaps today. Here is Baraka Odenibo, who hasn't really had a role this season with the emergence of Best. Rolling Priester, and he throws a perfect ball to Odenibo. Short throw on 3rd down, a bit behind Jalen Dwyer. Here's the field goal now for Jamie Finger. And it gets there. It's good. Nice throw up the seam. And that is the tight end, Raheem Ismail, to the 37 of Mississippi State. So that passing yard average is going to come up significantly. The deal breaker should be in excellent shape now for quarterback Gerald Ogletree. We're over 400 yards passing. Might be a series record today. 3rd down and 8. This is to the end zone. There is a flag down. Caught by Rocky May. What are they going to call? Pass interference on the defense. It is a touchdown. Arkansas State has broken 60. And now leads 66-21. That's the #1 team in football, everybody. I just realized their backup offense is also in. They have not been able to move the ball well at all. Broken up on the play. Good move, Odenibo. We just keep adding on to one of our best offensive days of the whole series. Over 600 yards and 60 points. Here's a sweep. Odenibo, he's going to get to the edge. Another first down. Play action. Dwyer, he's on his feet. Still makes a move. You've got to be kidding me. 70 plus on the board for Arkansas State. Never been more dominant than this game. What a game, everybody. The best showing for our offense ever in this series. This team has a top-tier offense and defense, it appears. Halfway home in the regular season, expectations got to be extraordinarily high. This is a special team. I'm not sure I realized that in the offseason, how good this team could be. 648 yards, 9.8 yards per play, 7 of 12 on third down, 3 red zone touchdowns. A lot of our scores came well outside the red zone. We gave up a lot of passing production to Kenyon Caps. They did some really good things there in the first half, but we just kept on scoring. It never got closer than 2 scores after the first quarter. Arkansas State, meanwhile, 376 yards passing for Ogletree, 100 for Priester, 6 combined passing touchdowns. Ron Best scored twice. And I did keep it in the air for most of this game. I felt just really good throwing the ball throughout. That allows us to get Akeem Madden a 163-yard day with a score. Alba scores twice, and Bargava had a 90-yard receiving touchdown we weren't even trying to get. 5 sacks on defense, 1 pick for Dallas Brown. That kind of showed they were not going to get back in this game at all. And we look ahead now to the second half of the year as the best team in college football. So we've got some rough news on the recruiting front. Torrey Jackson just locked us out. We fell to his 5th school. He's cut it down to his top 3. So that is 1 5-star gem linebacker we know we're not going to get. Another 5-star linebacker, James Patino, just put the Canes above us after a good week 7 visit. So now we are into week 8. I think we are likely to lose this matchup then for Dante Mixon, as his visit is 2 weeks out, and the battle might not last that long, unless we can keep it close enough for the battle to get extended out further. That will happen. We're very close for Dante Mixon at guard. James Patino, I don't know if we'll get to the week 10 visit. That one is also close. We could retake the lead. That one's kind of up in the air. Jalen Judovsky. Ole Miss just had a really good week. And if they have another one like it, this battle could get extended out further, or they could outright win. Some really tough, close battles here coming up. And our next home game is going to be week 9, where I think we have a visit slot opened up. That might be where I had Torrey Jackson, and now I can put one more player in that visit. Mateo Bullett's already going to that game. We've got Tyler Robbins. We'd like to make sure that battle's a win. I'd like to get Cavante Tolbert on a visit. I like having this really good secondary, and right now he's the only cornerback on our boards, so we'll get this to be a very complimentary visit. And so, after maxing out the points on a lot of these prospects, still have a lot of points left over. We're going to send the house on Byron Murphy, an athlete who should be an interior offensive lineman, I'd think. I have some more scouting targets here, starting with safety Johnny Dragos, a box specialist. And he has 86 speed, 70 coverage, 75 tackling. Keep him on the board for now, but not a ton of interest. Better coverage here on Glenn Luna. Have some 3 stars because the 4-star safeties are already pretty much done in terms of narrowing it down to their top teams. Then I have some gadget wide receivers because these are some of the most fun athletes in the game. Keontae Bargava is one of the best examples of that. So Barry LaFell, we're going to get 90 speed, 92 acceleration, 88 throw power. You know what? I'll give him a scholarship. Next up for Arkansas State is a battle with Ole Miss. They're number 23 and are only 5-1 on the season, just 1 loss. After this last game, Gerald Ogletree now has 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and his playing style deal breaker is right at where it needs to be. Tamar Alba has 425 yards and Akeem Madden 379. If we want an idea of where he is among all the tight ends, we'll scroll down until we find that first one that stands out. Leo Suggs of Penn State has the edge in passing yards, 42 receptions. Vernon Cribbs from Texas could be some competition. You've got Alex Gizzy from UTEP, respectable production, close to 500 yards. So we're going to have a little bit of work to do. I think he's, with that last game, kind of back into the mix for the top producing tight ends. But he's not even in the top 5 right now in yards or receptions. Ole Miss has only lost to number 3 Alabama, a team we have to look forward to shortly. But they've put up a lot of points in their other matchups, also allowed a lot. They have not allowed under 28 in any game this season, and that was to South Carolina, who has fallen off big time. Paul Hopper is the quarterback with 20 touchdown passes and only 2 interceptions on the season. Top receiver is Evan Rhodes, 733 yards, 8 touchdowns. That puts him number 4 in the entire country. And their defensive personnel looks a lot better, much more athletic. They do have a standout corner in Reggie Levine. Okay, they have a really good inside linebacker as well. This team is a much higher overall than Mississippi State's, so I'm expecting a tougher game. And don't forget, this is one of those teams that has defeated us in the college football playoff before. So I'd love to get some overdue revenge after that tough loss against their Heisman-winning quarterback. I do love their uniforms, though. Something about that light blue that gives me, like, Houston Oiler vibes. I never even grew up watching the Oilers. They were already the Titans. Underway at the 21-yard line, and there is Akeem Madden. Don't have to introduce him by the award he won a year ago. Hopefully we can create a good campaign this season. A little bit behind the pace we need right now. Wonder if that watch list comes out soon and we can start to reference that. So an aggressive attacking style worked well against Mississippi State. We'll see what the answer is today. And this is Ruggins now with a big run to start the game. Caught at the 40-yard line. Back to pass for the first time. And the throw is by Ruggins, incomplete. Changing the play as Ole Miss puts 5 across the line. Pass is hauled in by Pierre Shembo, and it's 3rd and 6. 2 deep safeties for Ole Miss, looking for an opening drive stop. Back to throw, Ogletree has his man, it's Madden, in Ole Miss territory for the first down. On the carry, Ron Best, wrapped up with 5 yards. To the air on 3rd down. And they'll get to Ogletree. Good coverage across the board. They had a linebacker sitting in the middle. Sometimes I go for it in these spots, sometimes I don't. Field goal team is on. Jamie Finger gets us on the board. Depending on the opponent we're playing and a variety of factors, sometimes I'll go for it in that exact scenario, sometimes I'll kick. There isn't really a one-size-fits-all strategy. But here is Paul Hopper coming off a 430-yarder. Both quarterbacks had outstanding weeks in their last games. So each comes in with some momentum they'd like to maintain. But their kick return set them up at the 8-yard line. So they got a ways to go. The running back is number 33. Gotta pull up my depth chart here. Fumble in the end zone. That's a safety. 5-0 Arkansas State. That's one way to open the game. It was Jeffrey Brazil again. This guy is a wrecking ball, and he is just a freshman. They try to double team him on this play. And they're at like the 8-yard line. You're not thinking safety from there. They double Brazil, and he still just pushes them both back into Hopper. Ball comes out, and at that point, we're getting points regardless. Jeffrey Brazil might be the best player on this defense. Is that a stretch? A good on the return. Up the numbers. Had a kick return touchdown in the previous game and now nearly a safety punt. Short field and a great chance for Arkansas State. And it's a screen. DeMar Alba has blockers ahead and nearly broke loose. Usually I'm trying to cut it back out to the right. At the last moment, I noticed if I took like a hard left, we could have gone across the field and probably had a touchdown. Ron Best on the carry. It's a gain of nothing. Huge sequence for their defense to try to keep this from getting out of hand early. It's going to go over the middle now. Keontae Bargava. Ruggins in the backfield on 3rd and inches. And despite moving Westerman to that side, he gets beat. And it's 4th and inches. We're going to set up for a sneak. They've been close to automatic here, and that time it works. Goal to go now, and leading the way, Ogletree. I tried to get all the way outside. Lost the 3. Now to the air. Over the middle, it is way off the mark, and there is a flag on the field. I didn't see one, but it's going to be pass interference on Ole Miss. 1st and goal, Keontae Ruggins breaks the plane. And it hasn't been much of a home field advantage for Ole Miss yet. 12-0 Arkansas State. They need to respond. 1st down and 10. Hopper throws the bubble screen outside. And we limit the yards after the catch. A 4-man rush. Good protection on Hopper. And the pass should have been picked. And Jolly knows it. A pick 6 just went through his hands. Looking at this offensive line, I think it's very good. So I think our secondary is really going to be in for a tough day, having to hold up for maybe a bit longer. But they just got off the field here on a 3-and-out. Nightmare start for Ole Miss. As we'll get the ball. Keontae Bargava has some daylight, but not much. Ole Miss forcing a 3rd down. They put 5 across the line. We're going to keep in Best to protect. 3rd down and 6. They do send pressure. And it's intercepted. I got confused midway through that play. It is intercepted, and Ole Miss is going to take over. I think I expected 13 there to stick with Alba a little bit longer. And then he doesn't. And the ball's thrown right to him. It is the first interception in a little while. We had a nice little interception-free run. That resets as Ole Miss gets the ball in plus territory. It's a fake draw. Hopper downfield on the comeback. He's got him. Caught by Frederick Henderson. 5-man rush. Hopper over the middle. Again, it's Hendrickson on the catch. Looking to get back in this game. They run it inside. It's Marcel Abiamiri. Another run. Harris is there to stuff it. It's 3rd and 7. Ole Miss with time in the pocket. Hopper scans. Doesn't see much. And the underneath pass is swarmed. They get on the board, though, with a short field goal. Keeping it on the ground and cutting back with Ruggins, starting the drive with 8 yards. Threw a pick on the last pass. This one's caught by Westerman, who gets around the cornerback. That was the same player who picked off the pass on the previous drive. Got to protect the football. Don't give these teams any shortcuts for getting back in games. We'll head to the air, rolling Ogletree. He's going to let it fly. I know anytime we're on the move, it's going to be a risk to throw it. Especially with his speed, you could just go run oftentimes. Draw play. Best following the blocks to midfield. On 3rd and 3, pressure's there, and the pass off the mark. Got there pretty quick. A rare punt today. Haven't been many of these. Trying to pin the Rebels deep like we did on that opening, or that one kickoff, but that's into the end zone. A backwards pass on 1st down and a loss for the Rebels. 9-point game. Hopper under pressure and takes off with plenty of green. Not sure he got all the meat off the bone there, but he got close to a 1st down. We're sending 5, and it's lofted to the running back. Really good pass by Hopper. With Harris there in pursuit, he was going to have a chance to contest anything that wasn't over that outside shoulder. So that was a phenomenal pass by Paul Hopper. Doesn't have to be a downfield throw that is perfectly thrown to be a great pass or a highly impressive pass. Anything that gets your receiver some yak is good in my book too. 2nd down and 11. And they'll get 9 yards now on Emmett Paul. Keeping now. Hopper is wrapped up, and it's Dallas Brown. Oh, wow, I'm shocked they would punt it here. Feels like go for it. But we'll get the ball. A carry for Best. He cuts upfield and gets hit hard near the marker. A little more balanced in this game. I don't think that just throwing all day long is our path to victory. But here's one downfield, a bit underthrown, as I thought Shembo had a chance. I've seen about 3 or 4 passes in this game that weren't great from Ogletree. Clearly, we're playing a tougher game now. And it's 3rd down and 11. Pressure off the edge. They both get to him. With good field position. Ole Miss now at the 49. Fake from Hopper. That pass is incomplete. Raines put the hit on Henderson. 3rd down and 3. Hopper's throw to the outside is caught. Henderson can play. Tight man coverage. Jeffrey Brazil. A multi-sack game for a player who I think will be a freshman All-American and just a first-team All-American in all likelihood with the start he's had. 2nd and long. Here's a pass that's complete. And Hopper goes over 100 yards. Trying to make it tough on 3rd down with all this man coverage. Here's 3rd down and 1. They dump it outside and escorted out of bounds by Isaiah Harris. Now it's a go for it. So what's the logic behind punting from the 41, but going for it on 4th and 5 from the 33? 4th down. Hopper scans under pressure and it falls incomplete in no man's land. Oh, wow. Forced outside is Ruggins. He does get 4 out of it. The tight ends don't always throw the cleanest blocks in the running game. Got to respect those great blocking tight ends. Here's a screen now, and Shembo was not able to get up and block that defender. Ogletree, he's cold, and it shows. Wow, flag down. That's going to be pass interference. Sweeping with Best. Looking for the edge run down. They're playing us as tough as they can. Here's a throw. Floated. Another flag is drawn by Madden. I've never seen this many pass interference calls. Quick screen for DeMar Alba. And the yards are not coming in the same chunks they were earlier against Mississippi State. We have 63 yards passing as halftime approaches. Continuing to throw. Oh my, Ogletree just threw his worst pass of the year, and it's intercepted. I did not throw that with great timing, but it shouldn't have ended up in his hands. That's for sure. That is an awful pass. Tried to throw it, on the outside shoulder and get him to not run into that defender out there, number 24, but certainly not there. 4 minutes till halftime, and a chance at a good run here for Biamiri. First down. Playing man coverage, pass, caught. Man, Jolly, he's lost a few in a row out there, hasn't he? Frederick Henderson, one of their star receivers. A lot to handle there, man-to-man. On first down, coming across the middle, it's a good pickup, and he's not done. I apologize. He had some more yards to gain. That was Evan Rhodes, their leading receiver. Rhodes gets it again after a bit of a quiet start. They fake the jet now to Hendrickson and throw it into coverage. Reigns, what are you doing? He had a perfect opportunity. That's why he plays defensive back and not receiver, right? Stone hands. 3rd and 4. Hendrickson motions. They get it to him in space. And the tackle's made by Emmett Paul. Offense is going nowhere. 4th and 3. It's a pass intercepted by Khaled Wilkins. Our 4th cornerback comes on the field. They put 5 receivers on, and we play man-to-man once more. They had the chance, though, on this little whip route to the outside. It was there. Instead, locked on to the slot, Wilkins playing inside technique, and it was never going to be there. A very aggressive look. We're going to try to change our play here, and now they do drop the safety out. We're going to get this one to DeMar Alba. And I feel like we've got to work Ogletree back into the game a little bit before some of these higher risk throws return. I don't see the snowflake, though, so that's at least a good sign. A yard to go. Best gets it. He wants some more and gets out to the 45. Back to pass and hitting Madden at midfield. Still some time on the clock if we can extend this drive. 3rd down and 4. Madden once again. We'll call a timeout. Stepping up. Has him wide open is Bargava. He'll take it out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Back to pass. Over the middle. Madden takes it away. Touchdown. Give him a chance. And the Mackey Award winner is going to come away with that football. As soon as I see the linebacker here follow Best, I realize that I'm probably going to Madden on this play. Trying to time up that in-cut best we can. I know it's going to be a little risky, but he goes up to get it. There are some guys you can just trust to make those tough plays. I don't know what their plans are here, but they came out with 5 receivers at their own 11. Hopper throws, and they continue to come away with these 50-50 balls. I don't think they've been so 50-50, though. Feels more 75-25. Final play of the half. Dallas Brown on the tackle. Solid half overall. A few missteps on offense. It wasn't very clean, but we are outplaying them to this point. This feels a lot like the Florida game we played earlier. The defense is able to do a lot to slow us down, but they're not able to keep up, at least halfway through. Nice stop on first down by Jared Mafe. On second down, they'll dump it to Biamiri as he sets up his blockers and picks up the first down. Quick pass. Hendrickson gets the better of Jolly and turns it up to the 45. Jolly's had a great year, but this might be his toughest game so far. Blitzing Hopper, that is incomplete. We switch up the play call. Empty on third down. Ole Miss desperate for a touchdown, and that is going to be inches shy of the marker. Man, I can't believe they're punting that. 4th and inches in plus territory. Down 16. At least it's looking like a good punt. Ruggins gets the carry and gets the first down before losing the ball that we ultimately get back on. We have been the better team, and we've also gotten all the breaks. There have been like 3 pass interference calls, that fumble, and of course they've had chances to perhaps go for it and have passed. Looking to get across the 25 on this play. Madden makes the catch. He's been heating up. To the outside, and that is Bargava securing it. We'll stay on the ground with Ruggins, and we get the first. Give inside. It's Ruggins pushing the pile to the 49. The carry goes to the right, and Ruggins is stuffed. 4th and 1. I think I'm going to be the team now that decides we're not going to go for it here. Because they only have 3 points. They haven't shown the ability to move the ball at a high enough level for me to want to take that risk right now. Bad punt, though. So about 30 yards difference then in field position as Hopper gets stuffed. Maybe in the first half of a game I am more likely to go for it there. But after seeing what type of game it's been, again, playing it safe. Good run up the middle, though, and a breakaway toward midfield. And that's Marcel Abiamiri. So they worked their way around where they would have taken over had that been a failed 4th down conversion. And now they'll run Abiamiri for another first down gain. Oh boy, that was a bad audible. No way. Not even an audible. They were in the hurry up. I was trying to get the call in. The guy in man coverage on Rhodes was on the other side of the field. So it's basically a free touchdown there for Ole Miss. 19-9, going for 2, not getting the 2. It's still a multi-possession game. Starting to work their way back into the game now. Playing some mind games there. Harrison Smith style at safety. Here's one behind Bargava. Incomplete. Now a run that Ron Best is going to take for the first down. Those linebackers and safeties, they over pursue and give you a lot of these inside lanes far too easily. First down. We'll try the slant again. It gets batted at the line. 3rd and 7. The crowd getting back into it now for Ole Miss. Back to pass. Shembo. Incomplete. A 10-point game for Ole Miss. And from the 17. Hopper is hit, and Oladukin records his 2nd sack. They fake it to Abiamiri and send it downfield. It is batted away. Tried to overthrow the double coverage, and it was not a bad attempt at all. 3rd down and 16. Pressured by Mafe, throwing short. And our defense will respond with a stop. Returnable. Keontae Bargava angling, working his way into plus territory with 1:24 to play in the 3rd. We're going to sweep it to Best again. That backside pursuit coming in hot, but he picks up 4. Nearing the end of the quarter. Pass into our own lineman. Alba was wide open. Going to make him give me a look at least. Alba in motion. We're going for it this time on 4th down. Overthrown again, picked off. What is going on with Ogletree today? Akeem Madden was open, and it's his 3rd pick. Ole Miss ball and a 10-point game as we go into the 4th quarter. I thought that was the right call there. I liked the look we got. They did a good job on Alba coming over the middle, but they did not do as good of a job on the Madden post. He's covered by a safety, and it really should have been a 1st down. Madden has 13 targets. Yep, really trying to get him the football. All right, we're on to the 4th quarter. Rebels still have to do quite a bit against a defense that's held them to 9 points. A fake to Amiri. There's a throw on target to Evan Rhodes. They've been emphasizing him quite a bit. I wonder if we should move someone else into the slot. I don't like this matchup right now. Well, it's going to be a keeper, and the quarterback goes down. So I think Emmett Paul has been matching up against J.J. Pettis. Another good receiver, but he hasn't been getting any targets. We're going to put Paul in the slot now to match up more with Evan Rhodes. And that's the matchup we get here. 82 on the outside, that is J.J. Pettis. I don't think he's caught a single pass. Could be wrong. 2nd down and 15. Where's he going? Is he out of the stadium here? Is it 11 on 10? Pass is caught on a perfect pass. Kona Montua Puaka at tight end. Can't throw that one any better. Perhaps Ole Miss has found their opening. Into field goal range, and on 2nd down, it's wide open through the defense. Montua Puaka. What a play. The keeper, Hopper, taken down by Reigns at the 4. Inside give, Amiri sidesteps and jumps into the end zone. Ole Miss getting better as the game goes on. That was their best possession of the day, I'd say. And they will make it a 3-point game. Very rough game for Gerald Ogletree. He might have had his best and worst games back to back. But the story of this one ain't finished yet. Best. They just don't go get the blocks for you there. 2nd down. Getting open over the middle. It's floated to Bargava. Went backwards there, and it's only a gain of 3. Ron Best in motion. And here is a pass that is incomplete. Sending pressure through the middle. Just been stuck for a few drives. Really all half. We'll give it back to Ole Miss. The Rebels are going to have a chance now with possession, with momentum, to perhaps take the lead. Paul Hopper keeps it, dashes across midfield with all kinds of space, and runs out of bounds at the 33. Field goal would tie it, and they should be in field goal range now. There's a pass to the outside that goes for another 1st down to Frederick Henderson. Got our defense searching for answers here in the 4th quarter. Amiri's going to take it. Harris on the tackle. Making an adjustment here at the last moment. They're sending out the running back. Paul Hopper scans the field, has time, and throws to the end zone. And it's marked down at the 2. Caught by Evan Rhodes. 1st and goal. Amiri breaks the plane. Ole Miss has just taken the lead, erasing a 16-point deficit. They've just been building and gaining momentum really the entire half. And it's 23-19. And we have to find our identity again after a variety of bad drives in the second half. 6.5 minutes on the clock, and it's Best. Broke one tackle. It's not nearly enough. Have not been able to pass the ball well in the second half. Ogletree has missed a bunch of passes. Ole Miss continues to create pressure. This is a run for Best, and the first 2 plays of the drive only net 2 yards. 3rd down and 8. Oh, we're the ones to move this time. Oh, I guess we were drawn off sides. I didn't even see it. We head to the air now. Good coverage, and Alba separated into that slant. 4th and 3. Gonna trust our defense to rebound. On the outside, a TFL. That's what we needed there. It's like the first play to Henderson that wasn't a big success for them. 5 minutes to go in the game. And they're going to move 4 receivers in total to the right side. And set up another screen. They throw back left. Very heads up. That was a designed wide receiver screen. And usually it always goes to who it's designed for. Throwing on 3rd down. What a catch by Rhodes. Gets the first. Not finished there. And he's across the 50. It was a jump ball. And they have won all these 50-50 balls throughout the game. That was phenomenal. And he should have been matched up there with Paul. Off the fake now into Arkansas State territory. That one is incomplete. On 2nd down, near side and incomplete on the hit by Dallas Brown. Big chance here for the defense, and it's knocked down on 3rd and 10. Jeffrey Brazil got a hand on it. So we will get the stop. Probably not the best field position. As Bargava's going to go and let it go inside the 1-yard line. What a punt. How close is that here? All right, we're going to come out and run the ball on 1st down. We're going to get some room now. It's going to be a nice pickup. We can't go no huddle out of this personnel, so let's get some receivers in the game now. 3:30 on the clock. Downfield. Alba off his hands. Adjusted to it well. Wasn't a great throw. Dropped the pass. The mistakes throughout the game continue. Here's one for Madden, and we'll get him 6 yards. Airing it out, looking for Bargava. He's perfectly covered. 4th down and 4. We're going. We're not punting this. Got to get the snap off here, and here we are. Pressured again, quick, and it's incomplete. The right guard, Jimmy Mangum here, is going to get beat. And Best, he can't help out now because he's going to go out to the edge. If he can slow down that tackle a little bit, we can at least give Alba a chance. And we know he's our best 50-50 receiver. Ole Miss had success against us with a lot of man coverage back in the postseason. I've seen a lot of it throughout this game, and it continues to give us issues. Now we can't let him in the end zone, obviously. That's going to stop the clock and lose 5. Now I assume they're not going to call the most basic play calls, though. Play action. Hopper is swarmed. And we'll burn a timeout. 3rd down and 23. Flag down. Let's see what this is. Because from where they are, it's a pretty long field goal, and we could back it up even more, but they are at home. So are they really going to miss it? Let's back them up. In a similar spot, this has really hurt me in the past. 3rd down and 28, though. A chance to unleash our pass rushers one more time. Jeffrey Brazil makes that the right call. And it's 4th and 36. He split another double team. They will not make it a 7-point game. And we still need the touchdown. And now they shank the punt. 10 yards is all they get. Here come the Wolves. An ugly second half could be wiped away by one successful sequence. I can't believe that. I got tripped up on the icons on the screen. I can't believe I just did that. Play action, pressured again. This one's going to get thrown away. I cannot believe I did that. Is the running back ever triangle? Man, I want one more chance to not have it end that way. 3rd and 7, game on the line. Hopper, what a throw. I blew it. That was our chance at a perfect season. Over the middle and complete to Rhodes. That is game. I would have liked to have one more chance at a drive. The most deflating, anticlimactic interception I've ever thrown. For our first loss on the year, Ole Miss just outscored us 20-0 in the second half. I played it very safe at a lot of points with our 19-3 lead. And like nothing I did in the second half was the correct decision. We only played half a game. That's terrible. So that's going to be a 4-pick game for Gerald Ogletree. Worst game of his career. Decent day on the ground overall. Madden had 8 catches. With their man coverage, you get Bargava and Alba combining for just 73 yards and the drop. Jeffrey Brazil did everything he could. He put points on the board. He got us that 3rd sack, and it should have been enough. That one's gonna sting. So we suffer our first loss. We'll surely fall out of the number 1 spots. We do add to our class guard Dante Mixon. And it looks like the running back Dante Mixon has now committed to Tennessee. They'll put us down at 6. Jeffrey Brazil, SEC Defensive Player of the Week. And next up, Alabama, the new number 1. Things can change fast. Taking a look here at the recruiting board, we lose Dante Mixon, but we also get Dante Mixon. The battle for James Patino still favors Miami. We want it to get extended so he ends up having that visit in Week 10. Week 9, we have a visit for Jalen Judovsky that could decide this battle between us and Ole Miss. This one did get extended, so we're going to have a chance if we play well against Alabama. Joshua Hayden. This is a case where we hope it gets wrapped up before Week 10, or Texas Tech could storm back into this battle. Cavante Tolbert's about to have a visit. So will Mateo Bullitt in a battle that I think is really up for grabs with all these teams. Man, that interception I want back so bad on the screen. I don't even want to talk about anything else. That was so bad. 16 touchdowns and 7 interceptions there for Ogletree. We had a nice stretch where there weren't any interceptions, not even many close calls. 3 picks in Week 1, 4 picks here against Ole Miss. Bargava, Madden, and Alba all have similar production on this season, but when we face a team like Ole Miss again, I have to have a much better plan of attack on offense. Brazil has 10.5 sacks. One of the best players in the entire country this season. Not quite first in sacks. I'm not sure why their sorting algorithm always excludes a bunch of players, whether it's in this or Madden. So we know Marcus Marks has the most sacks, it appears. Jeffrey Brazil should be a good second behind him. All right, next time we are getting Alabama. This may end up being a one-game episode as we have an odd number remaining, and I think it would make more sense to open an episode with ULM than close with one. We'll see how the Bama game goes. But 3 home games, a lot of visits, and now a big need to get back on track. We went from being the hottest team in college football to now taking that first loss and facing the new number 1. Suddenly, we're talking about our title hopes being on the line against the Crimson Tide. So that's going to do it for this one, everybody. We'll face a Heisman candidate at quarterback and try to bounce back from our toughest loss in quite some time. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and have a great day. I'll catch you all with the Red Wolves next time.